thank you for coming. I really do appreciate the time for this. And thank you, Roast Eagle Pub, for having me, for having us. And plug for the place. The Brussels sprouts are fucking amazing. So order those. I'm here today to talk about a book, The Metamorphosis by Kafka. You probably read it in high school. If you didn't, it's about a man who turns into a bug. There's a pretty universal consensus of literary snobs that it's a masterpiece. And the thing is, they can't agree why. Some scholars say that it's about mental illness. Some say it's an indictment of capitalist society. Some say it's an argument for seeking God. And I found this quote from Paul Spalding Wolcott. He said, "Fiction's capacity for polysemic richness can invite a dizzying, heterogeneous cornucopia of hermeneutic approaches as readers and critics alike hunt for the possible meaning concluded in the most intriguing pages." Which I think sums it up. And the reason I'm starting this is I have questions. Did Kafka have a meaning in mind when he wrote the book? Or did he write the book and he find meaning in it? I think. I'm not a Kafka scholar, so I don't know. But I don't think he started out going, hey, I'm going to write a book about mental illness or making an argument for seeking God. He just decided to write a story. And so the question, obviously, is what does that have to do with this book, which is the one I wrote, Sultan of Garbage. And what it has to do with this is that, like Kafka, I started out to write a book about a guy who finds himself on an island of garbage. Along the way, stuff appeared, themes appeared in writing, as they do. I found myself mentioning things like environmental issues, consumption, race, identity, superficiality. But the thing that kind of applied to things this week came up, and it took me a while thinking about it, is this notion of clutter. And clutter is not just things, clutter is ideas, expectations, relationships. Clutter is the stuff that we collect. It takes some space, but no longer serves us. And stuff that we don't want to, right there. And when and if we finally get rid of it, we foist it onto somebody else. And we do this as individuals, and I'm speaking for all of us, I hope. But we also do this as a society. And the reason I'm saying that is that's where I'm coming to with this book, but I'm not going to hold you guys to it. But I think there's something in here, and I'm kind of really proud of that, because I read stories that, for me, I don't think have deeper meaning, and I enjoy them. I love them. I just picked Nick Heron's book, Nobody Wants to Love Me. Nobody wants. I don't think there's a deeper meaning to the book, but it was super enjoyable. All right, my point with that is, I think there might be more to this book. And if you find it, please let me know what it is. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and start reading. This is how the book opens. I'm looking out at this island, stretching toward the horizon, rising into the sky. A light on the relentless blue that surrounds it, water below, sky above. And it almost feels alive, like it's been waiting for me. I've never seen it before, but I noticed this. And it knows me. I take it all in as much as I can, and I say to myself, I'm going to make this mine. Of course you are, she says from some of mine. Yes, I'd said that out loud. I do that sometimes. Say things out loud when I think I'm thinking to myself. Her voice sounds weird when she says that, like me saying how I might want to do something by myself, for myself, like that's some kind of imposition. I should know. My name is Alex. There's a space. And before we found ourselves on a 60-foot yacht, thousands of miles from the nearest continent, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, we were sitting in the living room of our company, my company. She was sitting. I had just come in from taking out the trash, wondering why someone with a net worth of just under $4 million was still taking out the trash. I sat down next to her without touching her. She doesn't like to touch her. And apparently I said that out loud too. You could hire somebody to take care of it, she said, the distracted way she got, more interested in the drama unfolding on the reality show on TV, than whatever would bother you. And for good reason, when you think about it. They spend a lot of money to make reality shows interesting. Nobody spends money to make it interesting. Or I could ask you to help that thought. I was careful not to say that part out loud, but who knows what would happen if I'd actually said those words. Besides, she was wearing her slippers. The velvet ones were definitely a little shop on the Blue Marguerite. The ones she fawned over when we took that spur of the moment trip to Paris to celebrate sort of the sale of the studio, which I put my foot down about buying because seriously, I'll pay €640 for a pair of slippers. Then the rest of the trip was kind of off. I could feel not quite resentment, but disappointment. We ate dinner, but we agreed in silence, even though Evan and Nikki had taken a promise to go there, because the roast chicken there was the best in the world. At the Blue, I slipped €100 to go over to the kiosk. I got us into the museum ahead of the entire line. Even that, so 2 weeks before her birthday, I tracked down the phone number of the local shop, and not that she'd asked, but I texted having prepare for an assignment I was being considered for. Snuck out of the condo at 4 o'clock and called. I managed to speak to the sales lady who helped us. Yes, of course, she remembered Madame, she told me. Madame. Madame is when you call a woman over 30, and Grace wasn't 30, not for another 2 weeks. And any good salesperson would know better than to assume. I should have hung up right then, but I had no idea where else to get the slippers. Yes, they still had the slippers, the very ones Madame had been so delighted with. Yes, they could arrange to have them shipped to the US, but of course it might involve some considerable expense. I paid for the slippers as well as for the considerable expense. With the Visa card I was supposed to use for business expenses, the one that had the bill sent directly to Catherine. Business manager Tony sent me up with it. And now that the studio was gone, I had to figure out where to have the package shipped. I need to be a little louder. I arranged to have it shipped to Dan, who lives around the corner. I can trust Dan. Should I start over? Not going to. Yes. For the record, this is my first reading.
Really?
Yeah.
So great.
And just think forget. The birthday gift was a success. She was impressed, grateful. She even invited my touch when we put up in bed that night, which, I'll be honest, doesn't happen as much as like I know that as I'd like it to. Since then, she wore the slippers every day, all day, unless she had to go to an audition or like to jet out to meet some friend from Providence. Anyway, she was sitting on the couch in her slippers, and I'd just come in from taking out the trash. She was wondering why a person with a net worth of just under $4 million still had to take out the trash. And rather than offering to help, she suggested that I might hire somebody to take care of it, and that I went somewhere else entirely. I thought about trash. Why do people have so much trash? I thought to myself. Well, you have so much trash, I answered. I've had conversations with myself as long as I can remember. Most of them, I hope, in my head. Because it won't fit into their home. That's stupid. It won't fit into a trash can either. And the trash can is small. Slightly. Not the point. So what is the point? The point is that we generate too much trash. We all do. That's what I'm saying. And where does all this trash end up? It goes into a trash can and it's taken away. With all the trash cans and dumpsters, every goddamn month. I looked over checking to see if I'd actually said any of this two-sided conversation out loud. Judging by the way she was paying attention to the show, either I hadn't, or if I had, she didn't know. After I to bed, she declared, looking on the TV and putting the remote down on the coffee table. I got a splitting headache. It's sad. She gets these splitting headaches just about every night. Before a bad day. Okay, I'm going to stay up and get some work done, I answered. When she's not feeling okay, my touch is definitely. And that's how it started. I got up and poured myself a glass of coffee, then grabbed my laptop and sat up under the chair. Back against one arm and legs over the other, the way I always sit up under the chair. I wanted Ernie the chair to be comfortable. He looked comfortable, but never really was. This is the only way I can stand sitting on him. I can't tell you how many hours I sat under the chair, perusing the internet, finding out where all the trash had gone, which, believe me, is a lot less annoying than clicking on call for entries, rearranging my portfolio, and revising cover letters. Did you know that Getty Museum is built on top of a huge landfill? There's something satisfying about that, about how the museum never accepted any of my work into its photography collection, but some of it might actually be there anyway, buried underneath it, among used hypodermic needles and take-out containers and soda bottles. And then I found out about the massive island of garbage floating in the middle of the Pacific. I became overwhelmed with this desire, this need to see it. And why not? I had plenty of money, and not a single assignment on the horizon. What would it cost to hire a boat to go out there, to the middle of the ocean, and put my eyes on it? Out where there wouldn't be LinkedIn, or job postings, or even assignments to shoot photos, or ads marking crap nobody needs, for money they don't have. Not just at the end, because that's the beginning. The beginning. Questions? The hell are you thinking? That's a good one.
What happens then?
That's all. Thank you, I'll be early.
You actually got to see the
I have not. I've seen pictures of it. It's kind of unremarkable. The thing is, it's actually found in Ireland. It's mostly made up of plastics. The most has microplastics. You can't even see them. They're so tiny. And it's, I mean, the size of it is in the south of Texas. It's huge. And here's the part that really is kind of irritating when I think about it. But 70% of this is just 70% of the stuff that's thrown in the ocean actually sinks. So this is only 30%. And, okay, let me back up a bit. This is what happens when you write a book about something, you make it up, and people are like, I'm trying to fact check it. Check it out, check it out, look it up. There are two Pacific garbage patches. The big one that everyone talks about is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is between Hawaii and California. But there's another one off the coast of Japan, which is smaller, but not as important. And every ocean has this. The form of currents that swirl around causes sun to catch it.
Do you really want that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like Franz Kafka, where did you get a little magic circle? Magic realism.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can buy it here. They have copies here. Please, yes. Workers' place. I will sign. Yes. Yes.
Can you say something about your novels?
Okay. So I finished what I think is a pretty tight draft of what I hope will be a novel. It is a novel, but it's 82,000 words. It's called Egregious, and it's a story about a retired assassin who's mourning the death of his wife and struggling to raise his 14-year-old son when he's captured and sent to a secret prison in the Middle East. And he's going to break out, call on these skills long since forgotten about, get back to the States to save his son, protect his son. And You're kind of like, this is funny because my default setting for writing is snarky, funny, maybe assertive, not really it out. And I find myself doing it about some serious stuff. In the novel, I'm getting like political correctness, American imperialism, and normalization of brutality when people get offended by minor offenses. And it's funny and weird. I don't know.
Do you want to say anything about the recognition that manuscript has gotten?
I won a super nice prize on it. Yeah, I can't remember the prize. Hold on, I have to give something else. Yeah, I was stoked about this. Wait, somewhere. So yeah, my novel was named a finalist for the Unleashed Press 2024 Double Writing Prize. Right? So I'm really excited. I hope it turns into a real life.
You've written another book that's been published already, right?
I've written a nonfiction book. Okay, my day job is I work in real estate. So I wrote a nonfiction book, so it's a lovely story. I didn't get tired of dating, but I get tired of not being in a relationship. And I figured, I had gone through a very difficult divorce, and I figured if I was going to get into a relationship again, I was going to do it right. And so I have this thing where I find out the rules to something, and I took all the rules that I could think of rules to dating and thought, do these apply to dating? As it turned out, every single one of them except one does. And so to codify this for me, I wrote this book. It's called Spouse Hunting, using the rules of real estate to find the love of your life. And the happy ending is, I met Darby. And now I don't give a shit about that one.
Did you follow the rules?
Yeah, in fact, I think about 80% of the way through the book, and the rest of it's the actual closing of the deal. I consider it marriage the closing of the deal. And, and the after, how do you have it ever after? I might do this together.
So what's the one rule that doesn't apply?
It is about, hold on, let me try to remember how to articulate this.
Is it the counter offering?
No, the one that doesn't apply is whether you should take your feelings into consideration when you consider the offer that you want to make or accept. In real estate, it's illegal because you're not allowed to. You can't violate any laws of protected classes or race or any of that. But my feeling is, when it comes to dating, yes, you can, because you can't control who you're attracted to. You should be who you're attracted to, who you're attracted to. So that's the thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I've read it, I recommend it if you haven't bought it.
Thank you.
That'd be great. It's nice because, you talk about it, there's more to it than the pages, and it's easy to read the first time, and it sort of gets to sit, and it's easy to go back and read it again really quickly. So, it's you can absorb it and then go back to the other part later. Which I feel really interesting. I'm interested to hear what people take from it themselves and apply to their own lives. And I hear your voice in it a lot. I'm wondering how much of you is in that. Do you feel like you wrote it from your own point of view, or was that actually somebody else?
Probably more than I want to admit, at least from my point of view. It's not an autobiographical story. There are elements that come up. Like the rules of photography, those are things that I picked up as I learned photography and as I practiced it. But the element of the story, characters are based on people that there's a lot of different things. The main character, the guy, I think that those of us who write, and probably most everybody in this room does, I think why we write is to work out what's on our minds. And so to that, yeah, it is.
What's your grade? So regular rate?
I got so I learned how to write. I worked in advertising. So the training in advertising is to write fast and efficiently. So I can accomplish in half an hour what a lot of writers take 2 hours to do. Because of that, it's better for me to give an assignment than I'll sit down and write. I'm not giving an assignment I'll go garden or after rug. There's always something.
And yet you're getting things finished.
You know, when I'm inspired, I just sit down and I'll work 18 hours a day. And it's such a good time. It's getting me to sit down and do it. It's funny because George Parker wrote, I hate writing, but I love it. It's kind of the inverse. I mean, once I'm sitting down, I am having a blast.
So you're picked for writers, these writers.
How much feedback while you're working on your books do you seek or want?
I seek more than I probably should, and I get more than I want.
And what do you listen to?
That's the hard part. You know what? I have a certain rule that if I hear something more than once, I'll pay attention to it. It doesn't. Like if I hear something and it connects with me, I'm like, yes. But if I hear something, even from something like who I absolutely trust their opinion, and I don't want to hear it, it's easy for me to ignore it. But too many times I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta.
Or if they were things you already wondered
Okay, things I've learned about.
about. If they were parts you already.
Yeah, a lot of times they you have this big notion like, oh, there's something on, I'm not going to pay attention to that until somebody goes, see what you did there. Yeah.
Do you want to talk?
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the podcasts you've been doing and the questions that you're being asked, which I think is really interesting where folks, at least in the public, are centering on the story.
Yeah.
Which is maybe not where you centered on it.
You know, that's interesting. Yeah, so I've been doing some interviews and podcasts and stuff, and the environmental angle is really grabbing people's attention, which, among us, big secret, this is not a book about environmentalism. It's, the island is a metaphor. In my mind, you know, this is my read on it. But clearly, other people are coming to another conclusion. So yes, a lot of people are picking up on the environmental stuff, and some people are picking up on the whole notion of clutter, which, yeah, that's closer to where I see the book. Okay. I'm gonna get a drink.
And